Welcome. Can you hear me?
Good, I can hear you. Yes.
Welcome. This is Sienna Lea. Hi. I'm the inceptor of Rise Multiversity and Shadow Synthesis. And I'm here with a remarkable woman, a dear friend, and a Rise Multiversity mentor and a force to be reckoned with in her own right, Laura Lee Mistycah. Laura Lee is a ghostbuster. She's worked with many people, clearing things that most of us wouldn't even believe is going on in our psyches. I spent the summer with her. I had a huge education. We're having amazing results with the techniques she's given us. I've come to believe her information is accurate. To the best of my knowledge and her techniques, we really need this woman and her work right now. So, welcome, Laura Lee Mistycah. And
thank you.
Laura Lee has some very interesting new breaking news, in a way, for us on the planet. And I'm going to ask you to get in a comfortable chair, take some deep breaths, and be ready to get your mind totally and utterly blown. This will intimidate people, enrage people, but those who tune into it will probably have a different reaction. I can't predict your reaction. I can't guarantee the impact, but I'm here dedicated to the truth no matter what, and I think that this is a piece we all need to comprehend. Although, like most of the things coming out, it's going to be kind of painful because we're going to bust some really deeply cherished beliefs about our relationship to Gaia, divine feminine goddesses out there. So, what can I say? I'm dedicated to bringing the truth no matter how difficult it is for us to experience. And I hope that in the spirit of, and the truth shall make you laugh, our new podcast series, we can all find a way to get through this together. Much love, people. And Laura Lee, what's the groundbreaking news here? What's going on with Gaia? Okay, let me just ask this way. So I was raised as a nice new age goddess type of girl to think that Gaia was female and that she was who I was. Actually, I've had a huge wake-up call in that I've had to reformat all of that understanding of Gaia, how we clear energy through Gaia, who she really is, what's really going on in the invisible realms. And so, breaking news, people, listen up. Laura Lee, who's Gaia?
I'm afraid to talk now.
I'm sorry. I know it's just hard, it's hard for people. There's so much coming out nowadays. It's so hard for us to believe. So, but if we don't even know who Gaia is, we're kind of at a loss,
Yeah, well, it kind of started last summer when you were here.
Don't you blame me for this, girlfriend.
Well,
yeah, we did some pretty much you know what over there. I'm going to put you on. We'll keep us like, okay, go ahead. I'm going to put you on speaker.
So, yeah, it always concerned me when I would, and there's going to be a chapter in Kryahgenetics too explaining this. So if it short circuits you too much and you just put it on a back shelf and you can pick it up and get more information when the book comes out. But it always concerned me that people were dumping their junk on Gaia. When I went to sweat lodges, they're like, throw your traumas into the earth and puke it into the earth and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what the heck, really? And I said, she can handle it. Just throw your junk. And everybody, the New Age community says, ground into the earth and ground your garbage in there and and Gaia can transmute that, and it's all good. Yeah. The puke it out was kind of a real visual image of what's happening. And that never set well with me. I just like, no, I think I did it once, and it just didn't feel right. So, that's been like the last 2-3 decades. And then recently, in all the rescue missions that we've been working on, there is something not right about Gaia, and we didn't know what it was. And we found out that, and this is what's going to blow everybody away, that the Gaia that we have been dumping our junk on was actually a child that had been abducted from outside the hologram. When the Dene Monster came in here.
Okay, whoa. For people who don't know us, because this is going to go on YouTube, you need to not assume we know who the Dene Monster is.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's back up again. Okay. Back up the bus. Sorry, back up the bus. Okay.
No, I mean, you live with us every day, and I understand, but there's some people that do not even...
Okay, so I need to back up the bus. So, long time ago...
There you go.
It's so hard to write. Like, what comes first? Okay, long time ago, there was an evil bitch that we called Theyre. And she was the queen of taking something and twisting it and warping it into something evil and nasty and corrupted. That's what she did. That was her gig.
That was her great joy in life, yes.
It was her great joy in life.
Yeah,
and
she really enjoyed it.
She wanted to spread her joy and did so much damage. There's stories about her in Kryahgenetics 2 and on my website, so you can kind of get a background, but Kryahgenetics 2 should be out in a few months. So anyway, when she was being ousted from where she was living, she figured the only place safe for her would be to come into this holographic universe, which the hologram facility was in the ultraviolet realm. So in coming in here, first she had done all of these, she'd been waiting for eons for this time, where she put every chaotic bomb that she could think of was exploding at once. And so she knew that they were after her, and that if they found her there, they were going to do away with her. So she wanted to go into the hologram where she would be safe, because she had a scatter weapon that took a lot of the personnel in the hologram. She aimed it at them. They came, or the holodeck people, she aimed it at them. Pieces of them got scattered into the hologram, and she thought, okay, they will never turn it off. I can go into this place, I can corrupt the hell out of it, and I can be free forever and ever. Because she pretty much knew that we found her body. So this is like her essence that was doing this. Before she interesting that I choke on this.
Yeah, it's definitely choke-worthy material.
Before she came in, she had moles there that were doing her bidding, and they went, and there was a daycare facility very close to where the hologram facility was, and they went and abducted these children and brought them into the hologram. And
wait a minute, who were these children? These were super advanced.
These were children. They were just children. They were being trained. Okay, they were being trained in the ultraviolet realm, but they were children. They were just like.
But was she training them, or you mean that they were being trained?
They were our children. They were our.
Yeah. So we need to clarify what's ours.
Right.
What
These were nice, benevolent children that she abducted.
Okay. Thank you.
And took into the hologram with her, and then she thought, what should I do with these kids? And she thought, oh, okay, I have an idea. And when she came in, everything was a chaos kind of inside too, because she started corrupting things. She took all of the benevolent spirits out of our planets, Earth and Saturn and Neptune and all of the planets, and took them out and put one of these children into the planets. Venus has a child. All of them have children that don't know how to run or have never been schooled in how to run a planet. We're being put in there as the spirit guardian of these planets.
Spirit guardians. And you said that was like that movie, just to give people an image if they're having trouble with this. What did you call the muses?
No, that's a different thing. That comes later. Okay. Sorry. So, but before she put them in, she had confiscated and abducted the real beings that were the real authentic beings that were in these planets that knew how to run a planet. She took them out, put them in spirit traps over here, put these children inside the planets, and forced these amazing beings to watch these poor children trying to run a planet.
Oh, gosh.
So she loved to do things like her deepest joy was to watch benevolent people see things that she was torturing. That was how she really got her jellies off, was watching people being tormented, watching other people being tormented. That was how.
It's so horrible, but really we need to face that, because this is what evil and all of her minions and all of these all of the ranks on the pyramid. She was at the top, and then all of the patriarchy and all these beings, but the actual pleasure in cruelty is something the good people just really don't understand.
You can't wrap your head around it. It's too evil. If you're not evil, you can't understand it. I can kind of understand, okay, she is so messed up that she's inside out and backwards. And that's the only way you can logically understand it. Good is bad and bad is good. It's inside out and backwards.
Yeah.
So the spirit in our planet was not 100% feminine. It was
You mean
feminine.
Before this all happened? Before
Yes.
Not the child, but you mean the one that was taken into the spirit trap?
The child was a girl. The child was a girl. It was a little girl. Okay.
Okay.
But the original one was a perfect balance in masculine and feminine, strong and supportive, and the feminine side was loving and caring, and they're both bold. It's like we don't even understand what a balance of masculine and feminine is, because we don't really have it here.
Right.
It's hard to wrap your head around something that we don't have a visual aid for.
So you're not saying that the true Gaia is a transgender, right? I just want to I got to enter my head like, oh, how are we going to say this? Guess what, everybody?
No, not at all. We're talking the perfect synergism of masculine and feminine working together for the good of the whole, and understanding and not only understanding but admiration of each, the masculine and feminine. And there's no trying to one up, there was no condescending, none of that stuff. It was pure synergism. And we called them Gaia, Guyah.
Now, are you saying there are two people or one being?
It's one person, but one being.
An androgynous being that is not a transgender, is not a perv, right. Is not distorted.
We don't
even understand it.
We don't have one of these here.
Right.
But it is a benevolent being that is the epitome of truth and justice and love and compassion and strength and nobility and all of that. And it has both energies in it.
Well, I think men are going to be kind of happy to get this news. I mean, thinking that this beautiful, gorgeous, amazing planet is, the energetic, the spiritual component is only feminine. I mean, there's been a lot of talk of that in our community, and that this galaxy is all feminine, and that the central sun is all feminine. So, and maybe you don't want to go into all of that, but
I think that's great. It's like I said before. It's trying to wrap your head around something that you have to break out of the box of how we understand things.
Yeah.
Because this synergism is just incredible. It's loving. It's strong. It's smart. It's everything. It's all of that. So we have the masculine guy and the AH for the feminine, and the original planet was spelled Guyah. Gaia. So they got the name wrong, right? They just, like the Dene Monster does, she twists it and warps it. But you think about it, what could be more treacherous than to put a little child inside a planet and say, there you go, run the planet, would you? And then she had all these indigenous people thinking that she was a grown woman and she was smart and she was the omnipresent feminine.
She did that?
What? Yes. And that you should ground into her and dump your junk on her. So she did this little tweaking and made everybody think she was something she wasn't, so that we would torture her more, not knowing that that's what we were doing.
Whoa. And
so this poor little guy is like, holy crap, all the time people dumping crap on her and grounding on her and worshiping her as this grandiose woman, and she's like, I'm just a little kid. I don't know how to handle this.
Hey.
So when we found this out, it made so much sense, but I was so pissed. I was just so pissed. Mm-hmm. And so we were able to, and it took a lot of time and delicate operations to round up all the spirits from all of the planets, and
the children, you mean?
All the children, quarantine them, and they are traumatized to the max. Quarantine them, get them to rehab. Then we were able to find the authentic spirits, the real Gaia, and the rest of the planetary spirits. They were traumatized too, they needed to go to their rehab to get stabilized. So in between then, it's like, okay, so what's running the planets while all this is happening? Well, there was a program that our team from outside the hologram had written to put into this planet to keep it running until this authentic Gaia could come in and take the controls. So there was a space there. It was about a month or several weeks between taking the children out and the real Gaia being able to embed into this planet and start doing his job. Their job, not his, it's theirs.
Wow. The implications of this are pretty vast.
Yeah, it's very new. It's very new to us. This is only a few months old, and we haven't come out with anything on this because we needed to understand it better. And now we're getting kind of a handle on it. And the interesting thing is, once Gaia was put into this planet and started taking the reins and remembering how to do it and starting to work on it. And by the way, you can call on Gaia anytime and they will come and they will be there for you. And they're going to have a little different signature than what you had perceived before. You're going to notice that they seem stronger and more capable, and they might talk to you different. So just get, start getting this new connection to our original Gaia. Well, of course this would happen, and we try, every time we do things, we try to make sure that we get all the tripwires and everything, but every once in a while there's things that you just don't know where they're at. Well, a tripwire went off around the first part of October, and it's like everything on this planet went batshit crazy. People were getting GForces. People were having horrible, going to the hospital, having accidents, just crazy turmoil, painful experiences, and some that they don't understand even what they are. I know my Ghostbuster partner, Ronnie, she would, and I did this too at first, she would like all of a sudden get the jitters and that she couldn't stop.
Whoa.
And taking B vitamins and all these things, and it would come in waves, mostly and then things at night, and then fears coming up, and just like, and it started when one of her chickens died, and then her cat died, and then it's just like all of these deaths around her. And she goes to the doctor and he says, well, I think you must be afraid of death. And she about laughed in his face. And she said, I'm a hospice worker and I'm a Ghostbuster. No, I'm not afraid of death. I work with death all the time. I'm not afraid of death. No. But it's been a long road. I've been working with her, and she's getting, it's like finding new things. She's been doing timeline therapy, getting some amazing information that way.
Yeah, well, I hope we can go into that.
Yes, because it's getting really it's enhancing itself, and people are getting quicker results with it. Well, I had these things too. I got tricked into crypto attacks all the time, and I had the jitters, and I was sitting there, and it would come in waves, and I think I got it fixed, and then whammo, it was like everything gets reset. You get it fixed, reset. You get it fixed, reset. And I know a lot of people have been doing that. They just think they got something done, and whammo, you're back to almost square one. We call it square two, where you're just about as bad as it was in the beginning, but not quite. So as I was jittering, I thought, this kind of feels, and this is when I didn't know that timelines were involved in it. I'm like, this kind of feels like what it does whenever I get in close proximity to a Montauk boy, somebody who has been used in the time-space continuum experiments back at Montauk Point. And I thought, what? Okay, there's a clue here. I get jitters, has something to do with Montauk. This is timeline caca. They're doing time loops and space. They're doing something with time and space. Well, then we found out, yes, there were some things going on at CERN at the time too, and those have been rectified. And we're getting a better handle on it. We have gone on multitudes of asshole hunts and hunted down some of the top ghost gangsters and AI and cryptos. And so it is getting better. But just know people, and the world is going nuts, and things trigger you, and you get angry, and you think, well, why was I angry? And you get sad, and giving up, that's the big one. People want to give up and die. They're just like, I can't take this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I am so done with planet Earth. And they want to give up and die.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, the ones that want to give up and die are the ones that can actually do something to correct all this stuff.
Right.
So you've got to, step back. I tell everybody, just take a breath, step back, sever ties from these voices, from the pain and suffering. And there has been a lot of pain and suffering. I tell you what, everybody, I've never seen this much. It's like I've seen more pain and suffering in the last 2 months than I've seen in the last 20 years. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's been that way with you, Sienna, but it's just been monumental.
No, exactly. Absolutely. Yes.
And people don't know. And especially people that don't know the metaphysical things.
No, they just blame themselves. And if they don't understand all the invisible interference that we're dealing with, they just, the people that are coming are, they're in hell. They're looping in all horrible pain and suffering. Just like you said, everything that they've tried, it all seems like it's gone out the door, and they're at the end of their rope, and that suicide program is playing, and there are different gradation points of whether they're buying into it or whether they can hang on or whether they're seriously considering. The ones that come to me want to at least see if there's something they can do, but it's really, really rough. Yes.
It is. And it's, but the good news is we're getting there. We're finding we're finding the solutions, and don't give up. Don't give up. We are so close to blowing everything that's corrupted out of the hologram. You cannot give up now. Please don't give up. Please stay around. Everybody, don't leave yet. We're just about there. It's just about there.
Yeah, that is so true. They're just trying, because that's why they're accelerating too. They're so desperate, and they're playing the card. Okay, just take as many of them out as you possibly can, because this game is coming to an end.
Exactly. It's like they put out every end game trauma that they could possibly think of, because they knew that they were going down. And so they had the thing like, well, if we're going to go down, then everybody's going to go down, and we'll
right on. Yeah, that's the deal. And they're going to harvest as much of our loose to the last possible second. And they've had their way with us in such an extreme way. And the reason that I'm bringing you on and that I'm so dedicated to getting these messages out is that really people are blaming themselves. They don't understand that a crypto can jump into you and it can feel totally like you, and all the depression and all the anxiety and all the fear. It just feels like you're just screwed and you're just melting down. You're just, pathetic. And everybody that's coming to me is wrestling with that. And the suicide program, yes.
A lot of suicidal people, because I think a lot of them see all of this corruption descending on them, and they think, I can't deal with this. It's too much. I can't. How do I fix this?
And a lot of them have worked so hard on themselves for so long, and to be back at this place makes them want to give up, going, look, I've tried everything, I've tried everything and nothing works. So maybe we can get to some solution talk.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. The solutions are yes. We don't just throw all this crap out and say, okay, have a crappy day. We're not going to do that to you.
Because when you actually do the inner work, and you're working both with your own core traumas and wounds and all the interference that you can embody your soul. You can get the new operating system going. You can have more and more of you embodied, and that brings a huge change. I mean, I'm getting massively right now. I mean, I could easily puke. For the last 3 hours, they've been blasting me. But because I've done decades of this work and I'm super dedicated, there's enough of me present that I can weather the storm, even though I'm sweating like a pig right now. My stomach is bloated, practically hitting the keyboard. I'm an utter wreck, but I'm okay. And that's from doing this work, okay? I mean, hopefully one day we aren't getting this hit. But even in the midst of it, we can even thrive. But we have to really, there's just some key things we just have to sort out in order to hold our ground, which is the name of the game.
Yes, and I wanted to mention, that's when I talked with Ronnie, that's what we keep coming. The bottom line is we're stronger, we're smarter, we're tougher than we were before, and we're going to get through this, and we're going to understand it, and it's going to be all good. There's a reason for this, and we have the toughness to bear through it.